And welcome back, everyone, to the Decod3rs channel. So tonight we have a special show, and we are going to be bad tonight. It's gonna be amazing. Let's go. And as you can see, okay. Ladies first. We have VP. How are you doing,
Hi
V?
guys, I'm good. How are you?
Let's go. Yeah, that was a good day. That was nice. And our guest for the next hour are LitecoinYagami.
Light.
What's up, Light?
Light?
Yeah, what did I say? Lit? Okay, fair enough. Okay, it's
gonna
be
be
like that.
lit.
But
It's going to be lit, but
it's gonna be
his
lit.
name is Light.
My bad.
Yeah. I definitely feel pretty lit too. So yeah, we
See?
can go with that too.
Everyone's feel lit with lit when Light is in the room. That's what I want to say. I want to say that. And we have Cypher. How are you doing, bro? Cypher's good. Yeah, Cypher.
Great. Honestly, like enjoying the conversation already, and you're like 4 words into this, so let's get it.
It's gonna be a good one. And guys, so yeah, like you have been recommended by Melty during our stream. So yeah, it's gonna be good. We know it's gonna be good.
And yeah, we had fun with Melty.
Yes, that was fun. And thank you so much, everyone, on the Twitter space and on the on YouTube right now in the chat. What's up, Oshi? What's up, Mr. Rob? What's up, Mitchell? Hope all of you guys are doing great. Like that's the true OGs of Decod3rs here. That's gonna be amazing, guys. You're stealing the timeline day after day, but yeah, Can you introduce you for the people who maybe don't know you and your background, and give us like a one-liner of the bad project?
Oh yeah, please? Yeah, of course. I mean, I'm Light. I'm a content creator. I just like creating things at heart. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and essentially I came into Web3 not really knowing exactly, what the heck was even going on, but got to a point where I just started, I would say ranting, and apparently there were like threads or something, and then just started being super consistent with the content I was making. And here we are. Like I've worked with some really cool people in the space, and yeah, like right now is a really interesting time in the space because we get to do something like Bad Environment Club that I feel wouldn't be very accepted back when I first joined. And the TLDR on Bad is it's just it's a streetwear movement, I would say, but it's also just so much more than that because it's combining NFC technology and blockchain and embedding it with streetwear. So kind of, I would say almost like the rebirth of streetwear.
Okay, that's cool. That's a mission, bro. Just this sentence, that's a mission.
Yeah, it's a fucking crazy mission for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. What about you, Cypher? How did you met LitecoinYagami? Did you break?
Yeah. Don't worry. I mean, like I said, I'm usually the one butchering the name, so this is refreshing. I'm liking this. But yeah, me and Light, that's actually a nice story as well. Like we've both been around Solana for a long time. I've been here since damn near the beginning of NFTs on Solana, essentially. But yeah, so me and Light knew each other before we had any affiliation with any projects officially, like working for them. I knew Light before he was this influencer guy, but basically immediately we clicked, and we were always like, it's figuring out what to buy together, this, that, and the other. But actually, I was founding another project, I guess, 3 years ago, in Underground Society, and my first choice was Light for the marketing, and it turned out beautifully. He, did really well and sold out Underground Society in the barest of bears, I guess, a year and a half ago. And then SharkFi acquired UGS, Underground Society, my other project. And I was taking steps back, and this was during NFT NYC. And Light was coming to me with this idea beforehand, and I was like, I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to do. I've been working every day, countless hours, and no time to think about myself. And then in NYC, for whatever reason, just too many things were clicking, and it just made sense to me. And then from there, we were just polishing, this already beautiful stone Light had. And then, yeah, man, got to the end. So I guess that's the quick synopsis. It was freaking awesome.
That's okay. That's British. And yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool. Yes.
So So were you guys at the Sharky event at NFT NYC?
Yes,
Yeah.
we were. We were like
Oh,
together
so we
when the
probably-
announcement went up.
Yeah, so we probably crossed paths and just didn't know who you were.
That's
We were there.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun.
it was
that
a
was a
fun
good one.
event. It was a very fun event.
Yeah,
It's
there's so
probably
much
the
going
best
on.
one I've been to. be
Yeah, I would
honest.
say that and Famous Fox were like my favorite. Like I like the close quarters almost bar scene, just so everyone's comfortable, And I really got to meet, countless people. It was amazing, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
V, did you went to the Famous Fox event?
I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. I did not make
You would have
it.
met me there. You would have met us there rather. It
Yeah.
was so small. It was like the
It's a
smallest.
very, very, very sore point. I work IRL and I couldn't be there. And part of my mission at NFT NYC was to meet two people, Salami Mommies and Drax, and I met neither because of this. So yeah, it's still a sore point. Although I have become friends with Drax on the timeline now.
Yeah.
We
Because
follow
of the
each
show.
other.
That's cool.
Because
of the shorts.
Because of the show.
Yeah, the short. Yes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Maybe.
I can say
It's because her flowering and beautiful personality. That's why.
Exactly.
Also that.
Well, it's also because I trolled the other day, and he liked the post I put up to troll them. Who was it?
Yeah.
Who did I troll the other day?
The monkey rebranding that looks like a
the
dildo.
monkey rebranding.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how did y'all even feel about that? I liked it. I mean, it's weird, but I liked it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
clean. It's clean. It's clean.
Yeah. I mean, I will share. I will share my post with you later. But it's a whole vibe.
Yeah, I feel that. It was one of those things where it was also like, it's just so weird that I know people would hate on it, and I'm like one of those people that like, I don't know, I just like things that people hate. I think there's like something wrong with my brain, but yeah.
You are a pirate on the timeline. They are like counter intuitive
The
stuff.
actual
That's cool.
design works in a different color, like Bangers. I don't know if you're familiar with Bangers.
Love her.
She did it in a different color. And I was like, oh, I get it now. But like when people were saying to me it's a smile, I was like, a smile? Where do you see a smile in there? Like it was very confusing to me. But when she did it, I like my brain like locked in and was like, oh, I see what they were trying to get at.
Yeah.
So I just don't think they fully achieved it with the whole audience. But that's what happens
but
sometimes.
when you see it. But like you will never forget it, and that's important for a brand. And you will remember it. This moment when it was a dildo, when you thought it was a dildo. So it's good branding at the end of the day.
It was it was a vibrator. But
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. My bad. Okay, guys. Talk
We
to me
got a
more.
little off topic.
And it's been what, 10 minutes? Like 11.
Yep.
Let's go.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Ladies first.
So I guess my question is, and I ask this a lot, and there's no wrong or right, but what problem did you see either Web 2 or in the ecosystem, Web 3, that bad environment is solving?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, this is a cool question because there's a couple ways to answer this. And I think that the main thing that we're trying to, address is just this lack of physical, like this lack of just physical anything when it comes to Web3. It's like, I don't think it's supposed to be totally digital. And I do know that like the line is definitely blurring, right, between like reality and like digital. But there's also like a huge opportunity that I think people are missing. Like, for example, like it's crazy to me that a lot of people haven't really looked into NFC chips. Like it's so crazy to me because it's probably one of the most efficient, easiest onboarding tools there is right now, like bar none. And it can look really fucking cool. Like it can look as stylish as you want it to. And
Mhm.
so, yeah, by kind of taking this very familiar medium that is streetwear that people in Web 2 are very familiar with, like it's a whole thing, right? And then just taking this tiny bit of Web 3 and putting it on a t-shirt, all of a sudden you have like this portal into Web3 that's super trippy. And so I think the problem that we're solving is a couple problems, but yeah, I mean, you could say it's onboarding. You could say that it is like the integration of Web3 on physical products. I think, it's just like bringing like a little bit of like swag to not only Web3, but Web2.
And is your goal is like to serving like physical product to all of the industry?
Yeah, like Web3, Web2, like pretty much that's another thing, a lot of the times I think what happens when people talk about merch is like we're talking about merch for holders specifically and nobody else. And so we're also designing merch specifically for holders and like people inside of like Web3 exclusively and completely forgetting that there's a whole market, not even a market, a whole world out there that's like actually like 99.9% of the world isn't in Web3. And so by kind of like appealing to the masses, right? By like having designs that kind of transcend Web3 while still remaining somewhat familiar to the people inside of Web3,
Mm.
a lot of cool things can happen. Like, I actually genuinely believe that pretty much every luxury brand in the next decade will be using product verification with blockchain.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it makes sense because like even like the whole supply chain of clothes and like the traceability of everything, you can put the fucking NFT there, like 100%. That's made for that, right? And like, yeah, even having this like accountability of, yeah, okay, this hoodie is like the number 500 on a 10,000 collection. That's valuable as fuck. That for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's already crazy. Like, oh, go ahead, Schaefer, my bad.
Oh shit, my bad. I was looking for a little alleyway to jump in just because like it's perfect answer right here for the question that you just asked, Miss Lady. I forget your name. I'm sorry, but yeah, what
Just
solution or what
it's
problem?
fine.
Yeah, what problem is everyone ignoring? And that's verification of clothing, sneakers, and the reason they're ignoring it is there's no plausible answer that's super easy and cheap. And the answer actually is within crypto. So we're actually solving something way bigger than anything on crypto. It's this trillion-dollar industry in fake merchandise, right? So thanks to blockchain, that's possible.
That's cool. And why are you the guys that are going to resolve that problem?
I mean, maybe we're not, but like what I'm so interested in is like just starting the conversation. Like
Yeah, okay.
I've never like, and I'm not even trying to toot, my own horn, but like I literally have never seen people talk about NFC chips until like very, very recently. Like people talked about it here and there, but now it's becoming more of like a conversation. Like I'll see someone randomly talk about it in like a tweet, and like we're trying to like go create, like we're trying to take it all the way with this idea, right? Like do as much as we can. And if it doesn't work out, cool. Like at least we got it in people's minds that this kind of thing is possible. It's more like a proof of concept because at the end of the day, like Bad Environment Club is experimental just by nature, right? It's not like this traditional thing. And so if we're able to essentially show people like, here's what you can do with NFC chips and like, here's all the wacky stuff that nobody's paying attention to, our goal is actually to get everybody like using them, like more people, more projects, more companies, more people like that are interested in the future of verification. The more people that do it, like the better. So yeah, we're kind of like anti-competitive in that sense.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'll just interrupting you just for a second. Thank you, Cookie, for joining the YouTube Files Club. Thank you so much. Just can you onboard him on Discord for connecting the account so we can have access to the exclusive chat and like the new waitlist rule and stuff like that. Thank you so much, Cookie. I think you're coming from the Solana side up space this morning. Let's go. That's what's up. Yeah, go for it. Okay. Next question.
I have one other question, which I feel is the downfall of any well, generally of apparel, but it seems to be a big downfall for Web3 apparel is, do you have your logistics in place? Because that seems to be like, I'm sure your streetwear is going to be fire, and I'm super down with NFC chips. We have them in our Decod3rs sweatshirts. I didn't understand at first, but I've been friends with the guys from the NFT ice cream truck for over a year now. So I've been hearing about NFC chips, but I didn't really get it till very recently. But I think getting physical items into people's hands seems to be a real challenge for Web3 companies. Is that something that you've addressed, that you feel really confident that it's been addressed? Just curious.
I mean, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I have crazy ADHD. I was like trying to follow every part of that. So, like, the question is, like, could you rephrase that?
Yeah, sure. I was just wondering, in terms, you've answered my question about like what problem are you solving. The other problem I see with apparel, in particular in Web3, is the logistics, getting those items to people. Is that something that you've already addressed and feel super confident about, or is that something you're working on now? Just curious.
Yeah, actually, like, that is it's like the thing that I'm most confident in, because we've told people for a long time that we're going to be a Web2, Web3 hybrid, and we're super serious about it. And so, you know, that involves stepping outside of like even Twitter, right? Like, it's not just about Twitter. It's not just about Web3. If we're trying to get people to buy or even just see our clothing, we need to now go to like, you know, the Instagram and like do advertisements there and like competitive research and like actually make sure our ads are converting, for example. And on top of that, we're placing our clothes in brick and mortars, and we're going to really cool events. Like, Schaefer loves this topic because there's so many things in real life that we're doing, from like Nashville, an event that we're going to really, really soon. And we're going to have a whole tent there that we built and designed by one of our UI people named Vecta. I'm going to this sick like entrepreneur week thing at a badass streetwear store that's called Kicking It in the domain of Austin.
Ooh.
And yeah, we're just trying to get our stuff everywhere. But specifically when it comes to just like this idea of like actually making those conversions, Instagram ads is going to be huge. Like, it's going to be absolutely huge. And I have a really good background in that, but also a friend that she's done it her entire life. So like that's what she does on her day to day. So combining forces with her and making sure that people come to a website, which we specifically designed for people in Web 2, as in like, you know, you can use crypto as a secondary option if you'd like, but the main actual way to pay for things is through Stripe and credit card and stuff like that. So it's super easy for people to kind of just come to our site and purchase something.
Nice.
That's cool.
That's cool. Are you guys going to Solana Breakpoint?
Honestly, I really want to. Like, I mean, I'm pretty sure we will. I love going to Breakpoint like every year just because it's super badass. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we will. What do you think, Schaefer?
Yes.
As of right now, it's probably going to be a yes. We just still have to book our tickets and things, so nothing's in stone, but 99% sure, to the point where we've already gotten like an event lined up that we can't talk about, but it will be like the biggest one there, honestly.
That's
nice. Cool. Well, we'll see you there, and we can't wait to attend the biggest event.
Yeah. It was like, it's like one of those events that's happened before in the past, and like early on in Solana days. And I remember like thinking like, damn, like who set up this event? Like, how do I get to be a part? How do I even get on that thing? Right. And then it's happening again, and we get to be a part this time. So yeah, it's freaking awesome. See you guys there though. Cannot wait for Amsterdam.
That's cool. That's gonna be nice.
Yeah, we're excited.
And I see, welcome to the YouTube fan clubs. I mean, yeah, thank you so much. We will see you in the coffee break tomorrow morning. That's gonna be nice. And Fanny, yeah, I have no idea how can you gift a Decod3rs membership. I don't know how it works, but thank you for that too. I love it. I need to do my research.
Random in the chat would have received it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. See, so I've done my research. So now I know what it is. Thank you so much, Fanny. So yeah, people who randomly enjoy the subscription. But okay, guys, there is like so much stuff to unpack with like the creation of a big brand in Web3 that that works also for Web2 world. Like, how do you build a massive brand, because we won't go big or go home, right? So we want something big, massive, ambitious. How do you do that from scratch? Like, yeah, basically building the supreme of Web3. Is that what you want to achieve?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you do that? Give me the
How do you do it? Give you the sauce,
day by day.
man.
Yes. Give me.
I mean, it's really just the culture, right? I mean, it's and culture can mean a lot of things. It can mean the community. It can mean your message.
Mhm.
It's slowly trying to build this idea of a culture that people can kind of get behind. And that's a tough thing because it doesn't happen overnight. And the interesting thing about Supreme is like, Supreme, and I love telling this story because it's like Supreme was just a skate shop. Like people just came to hang out there in the 90s, and that was it. Like they had like some of their clothes, but it definitely wasn't selling for more than like $20. You know what I'm saying? There was no lines out there. People just would come chill, listen to music because they thought it was cool. And a lot of people back then would probably be like, oh yeah, Supreme is like, a failed company or something like that. But like it takes time, right? Especially in like Web3, where, like I took a week off Web3, I come back, it's called X or something. Like things change so fast.
Welcome back home.
And
yeah, we
things
got
change
sold
so
to the dark
fast.
web while you were gone.
And it's like, people sometimes, I understand they'll get a little bit impatient because money's involved and, feelings and emotions are involved, which, I could go into, but I'm not even going to get into all that. But I think right now it's like trying to slowly build a culture that people can align with. And, kind of just having people be a little bit patient with the vision that we're trying to build and craft. So, yeah, that's kind of my answer to building a brand.
And okay, so do you think like the brand of a project in Web3 is highly attached to the floor price of the asset of the PFP? And like you can have a shitty art, but if it's worth like 20K a piece, then like the art is way better. So how do you do you see that too? Or is there a way to go around? Because maybe like in the next upcoming years, you still need to build a brand, but maybe your PFP will. I wish you for that. But maybe we're not going to see the same craziness of like expecting our NFTs to go that high.
Yeah, I mean, like that's an interesting question because we can't really tell the future right now. I think, it's interesting because we definitely know that someone really explained it so well the other day to me. He was just like, we had so many ideas, right? And so many people that were willing to buy into these ideas at once. But, at some point, supply and demand kind of like hit a nail. And then everything, like what you're seeing right now is basically the effects of that. Because like it's really hard to keep up with all these new ideas and fund them. And it's not to say that these ideas aren't great, but it's just really hard when you're attaching money to these kind of things. And so, I hope that in the future, eventually people will kind of step away from this idea that like, art looks better when it's pricier, which I mean, maybe that's true. Like I was just in a store the other day, like I think All Saints, and like I thought the shirt was like $30, but it ended up being like 100. I'm like, oh, this looks way cooler. But in reality, it's such a weird psychological, like backwards way of thinking, So I mean, I don't know.
Gucci is like the brand of Gucci is more valuable than Walmart clothes, right? So it's kind of the same shit, and you spend it's not the same material exactly, but you can have like average clothing that are like same quality as Gucci, Gabbana, whatever, and high ish. But like the image and like the flexing of having any Gucci bag or whatever is different than having a Walmart clothing, right? So it's you can kind of see the similarity between like NFTs, PFP stuff, but the brand is different. That's why it's crazy.
Yeah, like I think really like luxury items, especially when it comes to streetwear, it's basically just NFTs already. Like, I mean, the fact that someone would sell this old Supreme shirt for $1,000, you know, or flip it on StockX, it's like even like the old sneakerheads that would do the same thing, that would wake up at certain times, buy shoes and flip them, like Yeezys and stuff. It's basically like NFTs to me.
Yeah. And what would be your position for like bad? Is that like a high luxury items or like everyday clothing?
Yeah, we were even talking about this the other day too. I think that the path forward is making bad like a higher end luxury streetwear brand, kind of really based from, you know, this idea of like Off-White, for example. Like I really love their clothes and just their presentation and their packaging and their way of just like making you buy into this thing. Like it's pretty crazy that a shirt could even be $300, but like the way that they kind of like do it in their own, like, I don't know, it's just really, really interesting to me. And there's like tons of other examples, right? Like there's Fear of God, there's Supreme. Like I think we're trying to be more in that realm because it just makes the most sense for a Web3 brand or a brand that's coming outside of Web3 to at least attempt it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fascinating. Okay, and imagine like the scenario where like, okay, so you want to sell your item like $300 for a t-shirt, but then the price of your NFTs is half a soul. How do you navigate those scenarios? Like, is that like correlation between both assets, or like, that's tricky. That's going to be interesting to oversee, to see.
Yeah. I mean, this is a cool question too, because, you know, there's going to be a whole crowd of people that are buying these clothes that they just literally have zero idea about the NFT. Like they have no idea.
Yeah,
and I
okay.
would say actually the majority of them that are buying these clothes, like, cause you know, if you think about the funnel, like they'll just be seeing an advertisement on, you know, Facebook or Instagram. And so they're going to like come to the website, they're going to like purchase it or, you know, subscribe or whatever. And then they're just going to leave. Right. The only time they'll have an interaction is if they just so happen to click on the NFC chip when the, you know, shirt is delivered to them, but that's about it. So there's going to be a whole, like almost like secret club of people that are just getting discounts on these clothes, like every single drop, and it's a 10% discount. So, I mean, it's interesting because the more successful we are and the higher we scale and the more times we're able to replicate this successfully, inherently the floor price should just go up, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it would be really interesting even to explain that to people in a way where they're not like turned off, right? Like just explain it to the masses that, hey, this is just a loyalty pass. Like you just get 10% off of all of our clothes. And if our clothes are at a certain price point now to where it's like, yeah, it's kind of not hurting people's pockets, but they would like a discount kind of thing, then it would make a lot more sense if they're like a cult member or like a fan of our clothing to buy in.
Yeah, you can have like the Disney club with a secret door in a Disneyland world. Like, there is like in Disneyland Paris, there is like a secret door, and you can only go there. It's the most private club.
Oh yeah, they have one in Disneyland. It's like Club 33rs.
Yeah, exactly. So you have that, and like for a closed brand, that's cool. I like it. Like the idea. And then your NFT is going to 50K a piece, and then you have access to this club, and then you can. That's cool. I love it.
Yeah, like a speakeasy or something.
Exactly. That's cool. And okay, so that will be basically the oldest benefit. Yeah. So you have first the discount, and the assets are going to the roof, and then you have more and more benefit. That's cool. And right now, so the asset that you have and people can buy are like the peers, right? Like, so can you explain like what's happening with those peers? Is that like a whitelist NFTs, or like what's tell me everything, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things you can like. Essentially, we want like the people that hold pills to have an ecosystem of things to
Mhm.
kind of do, right? So like someone said something really cool today. His name's Sim, and he was like, pills eventually will just become like your key to these many doors that Bad Environment Club is like building. So the first door, of course, is just our store, really basic. We need to make sure that works right. And you just get like discounts on all of our merchandise and every single drop. And essentially, like I guess you could say like whitelist every drop, right? Because you get in earlier than everybody else.
Mhm.
And I don't think that matters too much yet, but when we become right, like more hyped and we're selling out in like less amount of time, people will probably care. So that's one. Another thing that we're doing really soon is people are going to be able to burn their pills, and pills also are going to grant you access to this PFP that we've been talking about for a really long time. And I mean, the PFP is like that's a whole different thing, right? Like that's just like one other like aspect of bad. But I think, within the next 3 weeks, like it's gonna take a pivot that people don't really expect, because I've been working with some of the most talented artists and storytellers and just designers I've ever met in my entire life to make sure that we do something special. So that's a few things to expect and do with pills at the moment, but it really doesn't end there. And something that Schaefer is super passionate about is events, for example. So we're finding ways to also incorporate pills into events,
Mhm.
get people special access to certain things and things like that.
That's cool. Okay, that's exciting. Yeah, can we have some like props for decoders? Like, should I tell the people to sweep the floor, or I can
Wait,
do it myself?
you said a drop for decoders?
Yeah, like, or do you have even like whitelist for your upcoming PFP on Clat3 or like even like Sober?
Yeah, he's asking for swag or something.
Yes, that's.
Oh, like merch. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, even merch. Yeah, even
Or
merch.
well, I mean, I
Uh,
think he's just asking for anything.
Yeah,
we could
give
hook
me,
you
give
up
me.
with something at this
Let's go.
point.
Let's
I
go.
think there's something we could find, bro, at this point. Cause yeah, we have a lot of cool things that like we did this like trash bag airdrop for our
Yes.
holders and stuff. And so they just got a bunch of cool shit. Like some of them got money, some of them got like really sick, like exclusive one of ones by like, one of my favorite artists named Moose,
Mm.
another artist that I can never pronounce her name, so I'm not even gonna try. But yeah, like cool stuff like that.
Okay, so you put money in trash. Okay, that's what's up. That's
Yeah, we
cool.
could give you like a ton of trash. Like that'd be cool.
Yeah, give me some trash.
It's so ridiculous,
Yeah.
I know.
And the PFP is like Striker PFP, right? Like that's the
Yeah,
art.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I love it. It's cool. Yeah, with like the yellow background and stuff. That's cool. Yeah, and Schleifer, like how's the flexing on the timeline? Like, do you have any reaction?
I don't really ask about it, but no one's like asked like what are you wearing? You know what I mean? So I think they're intimidated by it, and I'm also biased, but I think it's like so attractive. I think it's the best one by far on the timeline. So yeah, maybe biased, but I think it's so clean.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, definitely. Like I think you PFP
Light.
light
Light.
is from Gorillas, right?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
super like I love the gorillas. I could talk about them forever.
And there is some inspiration from for the art too, right? Obviously.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like especially when people see the PFP collection, how it looks
Mm.
like, they'll be like, oh yeah, this is literally just
So,
gorillas. Like,
yeah.
and I think it's like I actually do genuinely think that the gorillas were the first NFTs without knowing it. Like they
True.
have like the super clean background, the flat facing like art. And I was just like, I don't know why people don't do this more. It's so iconic and it's so simple to do, but it's also really hard to pull off, I would say.
Yeah.
Because when you're doing a flat facing PFP, essentially it's just like there's nothing to hide, right? So you have to make sure that all the details look right. So yeah, I'm super fascinated by that kind of style, and recreating it with Diff has been journey, I would say.
How long have you been drawing? many months?
A year.
What's up?
Like a year, yeah.
It's
Oh.
almost the same. Yeah, yes, V. Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
can you check the
I
Twitter
do.
space? Cookie had some
What?
questions, so he hopped into the Twitter space so he could ask.
Yes, is still a listener right now.
Oh, okay. He says he requested, but Twitter
don't
was
see it.
acting the fool today. So
What the fuck? Like, I don't have any.
requests?
Oh, wait, I'm a speaker. No, I'm stupid. I'm stupid. Yeah. Oh, I was not
Oh,
caused.
just confused.
Yes.
Just
Okay.
confused.
Is it coming?
Maybe?
Yes. Cookie, I think you should be able to speak. Can you speak? Why I can't hear you? Can you hear him in the
No.
Twitter space?
Oh.
No one? So it's not me. Co-host.
Okay.
Cool. Why Elon Musk bought that shit, and since he's bought it, it's not working? Like, I need to DM Elon. Crazy, man.
Okie dokie. Please do.
Like, Mitchell, no. Like, yeah, no, I have to DM him, man.
I can hear him on the Twitter. I can hear him on the Twitter space actually.
You can hear Cookie? Okay, so it's me. I think it's me.
I can't. He looks like a listener to me.
He just left though.
Maybe he's coming, leaving and coming back.
Reconnecting to the caster. Okay, no, that should works. Cookie, add a speaker. Sorry, guys. Technical difficulty. Okay. At least you have a cool endo, and I can pronounce this one. Okay, can you speak? Okay. Hello?
Oh,
now is he
no.
Jamie?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You're muted on the space right now. Me? Oh, shit. Okay.
Vince, can you hear me, Vin?
Yes, sir.
Yay!
There we go. Twitter's being stupid today.
It could be the host too. Right? It could be the host. Could be the host. So yeah, what's up? What's your question, bro?
Yeah. So my question is, so like, I mean, y'all. So obviously y'all have a collection, and y'all are gonna be doing a streetwear thing. So are y'all restricting? Do y'all plan on restricting the IP that y'all are doing for y'all PFP, or are y'all gonna have it open source or something? Like, how do y'all plan on working with that?
How you want to put your collection on the bad match?
Oh, I mean, restricting the IP on our PFP. I mean, yeah, we've been talking to our I guess legal team about it. We're just like, what should we kind of do when it comes to like IP branding and all this stuff? Because, there's a lot that goes into it. I'm one of those people though that's like, I kind of like the idea of just an open source world. So I'm not sure yet. I think we need to definitely talk about that point more, but I think it could go either way at this point, like when it comes to the PFP specifically, just because it's a little bit more than my decision. Like, even though I'm the creative director behind it, Diff is the one who drew it. And I would just want to respect whatever he says, so yeah.
Because how does that work? Because if you don't have the right and every other have the right of the IP, then as the owner of the project, you don't have the right to use the PFP, or it's like share common stuff, like any open source software. It's weird, right?
Yeah, it gets really weird.
Yes,
well, I mean, I understand the aspect of some projects, you never know who your holders are, what their intentions are with that IP, right? So, I mean, so as far as IP goes for projects, I think as long as there's a guideline and there's something some kind of staple or written do's and don'ts as what's allowed, for use of IP and it's approved, I'm bullish on projects who are doing that. It's, kind of letting the community branch out and creating avenues of like revenue where they may have connections, or it might be a field of specialty for them, or they might see a niche that the project may not be familiar with, may not be interested in at the time. But it kind of allows projects who do that, extra exposure, and just kind of makes their holders feel like they're actually holding something that they can contribute to and help grow. So that was my reasoning for asking.
And in a way, like if the project keep the IP and like holders use it to do something, and you don't sue these holders, then it's not really enforced anywhere, right? So you can do what the fuck they want until they do like something crazy, and then you can sue them because you still have the right to for the IP.
Yeah, something like that. Like, I feel like, yeah, whenever it does release, like, we just want to make sure that like people aren't doing some super crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I think like every founder or like project would feel that way. You know?
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, like, yeah, it's like, okay, so you're launching your project, your NFT, and then you are afraid of like being a security, and the SEC is going after you, but like, yeah, your project is worth like a $12 market cap, and you're worried about SEC regulation. Bro, like, calm down. Like, incorporate your business first, and then come back about regulation. I don't know. Like, for me, it's just do something big again, and then you can. Yes, you don't do crazy shit, but then you can come back to regulation issues afterwards. I don't know. Like, that's.
I mean, wouldn't the fact that certain, like your official products have an NFC chip, and anybody who's just using your IP does not, like, solve the problem sort of for open source? Or am I just misunderstanding completely?
Yeah, I mean, well, like the NFC chips, so the interesting thing about that is like, okay, so like if someone were to buy like a red shirt from us, the NFC chip will be like a virtual double of that shirt, essentially. So it's like a 3D version of it. It's really cool, with the way that we designed it. And so I guess that's even like a separate thing. And when it comes to like the PFP, I don't know, like it's always a difficult like discussion, I would say. But yeah, I would probably lean towards more like, yeah, like we would probably have some kind of IP rights in place, and then still allow people to do whatever they would like, just within a certain reason, you know?
Yeah. And can you wear your like the merch that you bought on your PFP? Can you change it?
Huh?
Like if you're selling merch,
I don't want to get too deep into this because the question you're asking, I will say we've thought about it a million times. And when I think about something, that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? Like there's so many layers to what we're doing. That's actually why I'm really excited for this drop, because like, yeah, we just got over this crazy internal hurdle that I can't even explain to people. Like me and Schaefer have just spent blood, sweat, and tears on this web. Like I cannot even explain it to y'all. And it came out perfect. And now it's like, you know, there's a layer under that, and another layer, and another one. And so I think like that is like something that has a ton of layers, and that definitely what you just said is like,
it's one.
I don't want to say anything, but yeah, it's in the plan.
So when is the
talk to me?
Yeah, he's gonna try to eke the alpha out of you, but I'll pivot for a second and he can come back around. So when is your expected first drop?
Oh yeah, like the first drop is happening like super soon, like in a day. Fingers crossed. But the website is up. It's doing a countdown right now. Products have been shipped. NFCs are on. Like it's done, and it's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, double check your RPCs, right? Because that's gonna be the problem.
Oh, check the NFCs. I mean,
RPC is like because people are going crazy. They're gonna click, and then they're gonna time out, and then they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, it's not working," but you click too fast. Oh, did I lost? Like, No.
Oh, oh, what happened? Schaefer, it's just you
Schaefer?
now.
Yes. Schaefer?
I'm still here. Don't worry.
Yes.
I wouldn't leave you
Okay.
guys.
Okay. So now that light is gone. Tell me about like wearing the PFP, like the merch that you buy. Tell me. Give us the alpha, because we're gonna do it 100% for decoders. So you have to do it too.
The question is the PFPs, or what exactly is the question?
Yeah, like the merch that you buy.
Oh
and use
no,
for it.
yeah. It's not going to be the PFPs, no. Like Light kind of said, is super important to me and super important to Bad, and not really resemble NFTs or crypto in any sort of way. That being said, there'll be jabs or kind of inside jokes that people will kind of understand on our merch, but no, it's really a Web2 model. It's conversational pieces, we call them. It's like when you see them in person, you're like, who made that, or what is that, or what's going on there? And then we're big on like simplicity, and then obviously branding. Like we have some of the best logos, and artists specifically for logos as well. So yeah, man, I think that's really the hurdle people haven't talked about or thought about, is with NFT merch, it can't resemble the NFT, because then you're narrowing yourself or cornering yourself to your community. I mean, like Google's merch was pretty cool, I think, and I wouldn't buy it because I don't have a freaking Google, because I don't want to like come off as this poser. That's just me, because I don't have it. So God forbid someone sees it and be like, "Oh, you have a Google?" I'm like, no. I mean, obviously it's not like that, but yeah, when you're cornering yourself, you're narrowing your market.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And okay,
And we're back.
Yes. Light.
Yo, I think I'm back.
Yes,
He's
you're
back, baby.
Light.
Yes,
What's up?
Cookie, do you have another question?
Yeah, like I added you. I was gonna see if and when you have time, if we could talk in the back channels. I have a proposition for you, something I've been working on that could potentially help solve one of your problems I heard you talking about earlier, and it also touches on the question I asked previously.
Yes, that sounds. Yeah, I'm super down. I just followed you back.
Yay.
Sweet.
Coders connecting everybody.
I love it. But I'm gonna drop down back to the listener, and I want to hear the rest of what's going on. But it was thank you for letting me come up,
guys, for sure.
And thank you for the YouTube subscription. That was lovely. Thank you so much.
So yeah, thanks guys. Talk soon. Love you all.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Who would win a UFC match, Light or Schaefer? Between Light or Schaefer, who would win a UFC match?
What?
Maybe they're not fighters. Maybe they're lovers.
No, it's just funny. This has actually came up like so many times. Like I don't know why. It's like the fourth time someone said like me and Light in a UFC battle. Like it was on Pictionary. We were doing like events in the Discord. You can play like games, and one was like Pictionary, and it came out like that at the end. So honestly, I don't want to answer that. Like me and Light are too good of friends. Like I don't think either of us would answer that. But Light, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be me, to be honest. Like. No, I
That's
honestly,
crazy.
I don't know if Schaefer even. I don't know. Like Schaefer, do you fight? Like I don't fight personally.
Can you do like one day of Muay Thai? You said or something.
I did one day.
1 week. No.
1 week, but it was like
week.
it just was
like, nah.
not. It was really time consuming. So yeah.
We need to do this Web3 content creators boxing / fight events. That would be cool. I mean, there is some like tough guy on the timeline, so I don't know if it's gonna be the same category, but yeah, could be fun. Yes, see, AC is saying yes, so it's happening.
I think Web3 definitely needs like more video content out there. Like we're just getting to that point.
Yes.
Like with Jakey, with you guys, with Rare Fud, all these people are kind of getting the attention they deserve, but also kind of showing the light almost. It's like, Twitter spaces are fun, but who listens back to a Twitter space that often,
Exactly.
So I think we're going to get there. And I think boxing would be one way to kind of onboard those people. But no, this is something I've thought about as well and talked to my friends about all the time. Okay. There needs to be like what C does with Syndicate. That's brilliant. I think that's a step in the right direction. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get it done. Solana Breakpoint. AC, you're managing the event. Schaefer is setting up. Light, it's coming through. Let's go. What's your category? Size
I'm glad
category?
you picked AC because I was like,
No, but see, let's get it done.
Let's remember, I do first lady duties only. Lots of waving.
Can do round one, but yeah, AC is managing
round
that.
one, yeah, sure.
She's managing the event. Let's go.
Excellent.
Okay. Should we go back to our bad conversation?
Possibly. Do you have more questions?
Yes, I have a couple of questions. But V, do you have more questions for Light
No, you
and
go,
Schaefer?
you go.
Yeah, and we can talk about like, yeah, that's a good point actually. Like, how do you grab attention of people during a fucking bear market because everyone is going to the beach and eating barbecues? So like, how do you build your community?
How do you build in a bear market?
Also,
Yeah, I actually kind of prefer a bear market.
Me too, bro.
It's like I
100%.
really feel super bad for the people that had great intentions during a bull market and they just flew way too close to the sun.
Mm.
And then I also feel bad for the people that just have way too much hype and they don't know how to contain it. And then you have people just writing like ugly threads about you, like for example, what's this project Ether? Man, like I just feel bad. Like I feel so bad for that whole situation because it's like I can tell that they put a lot of detail into like the PFP, the art, like everything they're trying to do, but it's like it's all kind of like not really. Well, I don't want to say I feel super bad because like I think they raised like $2 million, but like I feel like they're not really being given like the chance that they should be given. And so in a bear market, it's like time really slows down. You can take your time and address things. Quality should be of like the highest priority because you just have so many opportunities to get it right.
Yeah.
And also it's just like you can really actually slow things down and have like a conversation with the people that you're actually like like doing things within your community. So we like to do things like for example like weekly town halls and a bad Saturdays and just like chilling and call sometime and talking to people one-on-one even and just kind of seeing like like okay, who are holders, right? Like on a real personal basis, like what do you like for dinner? Like, what did you do today? Like that type of stuff. Like the real small things that, people don't really ever talk about too much on social media is the stuff that you can do or in a bear market. So yeah.
Fiddler does half-hour calls with the VIPs.
Yes, the YouTube fans. Yeah,
the YouTube fans.
Yes,
like, and then we are starting this week.
Decod3rs Show.
Decod3rs Show with members.
Yeah.
So members will be on.
Yeah, talking about Web3 stuff and them stuff. It's gonna be cool.
We are also venturing into reaching out further to our members.
That's amazing.
Our holders. Well, our future holders, because we don't have any holders yet.
No, few holders.
Views holders. Yeah, views holders.
And YouTube fans, people who pay like $3 a month on YouTube, so they can have access to emojis on YouTube and more whitelist and stuff. But that's cool. Schaefer, I have a question for you. Like, you built the community for UGS too, right? When you initiate the project until you sell it to Shaki. So what did you bring from UGS and what would you differently with BAT now that to grow the community and grab the attention of the people from crypto Twitter?
Yeah, great question. I guess on the baseline level or the building of your team level, it's limiting expenditures, using dev teams when you can instead of outsourcing to one dev or having an in-house dev. That's like a big one for me. I was talking to someone about that today, is like you're going to burn through your cash fast, especially in the bear. Like plan your capital wisely. And then also UGS was a completely different story in the sense that it was very, very utility driven. It was a protocol, great thing. And I love it the same just because it solves a great issue in that of liquidity. right? Everyone in Sol always is like, I could use 0.1 more Sol. But when you're in a utility project, you're kind of, sectioned off to what you can do. Whereas with this project, it gets very, very expansive with what is possible or what you can put out. So I guess those are the two main things, is like the difference between the two are great, but there's a lot of similarities in building in the bear. So yeah, man, I would say this project is a lot more, you get to have fun. And I think that's the best part of what we do, is like, it's experiences, experimental, but at the end, it's just trying to bring fun when a lot of people don't know where that is right now, right?
I mean, yeah, like when you've done 99% of your portfolio, yeah, like it's hard to have fun, I guess. But yeah.
99% is a lot. Hopefully everyone else isn't down that much, but I guess the middle we're down. So
I mean, I'm not that down, because I was lucky on some, like, couple of projects, but yeah, like it's tough. Like, yeah, the last cycle, like, like, just experimenting with crypto, BTC and ETH and stuff, and then like, I'm rich, and then during the beer, just less rich. But learning curve, right? And the next bull market is coming anytime soon-ish, maybe.
Well, I
Maybe.
mean, I liken right now to, like, I was in the big .com boom and crash, and the stuff that hung out, like, after the crash, like, is in the S&P 500 now,
Amazon.
and they're all household names. So it's going to be about, like, perseverance through the bear and positioning yourself cleverly.
Yeah,
in my
and that
opinion.
will be part of the S&P 500 of NFTs. Yes, you hear it first.
We'd love to hear it.
See, that's what's up, man. And everything started today. It's on the short. It's here. It's documented. What? Right?
No, I hear it. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
No, I agree completely, though. I think people are like super, super short-sighted right now, in the sense, like I was saying in a space the other day, they need to just zoom out and compare this bear to other bears and look who's buying now versus then, and tell me, like, what these coins are going to zero still. Like, it's so short-sighted. And then I love the NFT talk, or the topic as well. It's like, when price goes up on coins, price on NFT will go up in $ value, just because look at Solana, like $100 was nothing to everyone back in the day, as far as a year and a half ago, because that's one Sol. And now one Sol's $25, right?
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think people really will have a shock. And I think some people will be, rewarded for buying this fear right now.
Yeah. Do you see a Sol back to 250 in the next bull run?
I'm pretty optimistic. It seems like you guys. I'm not gonna say like what I think it's going to ever, but I think, like I said, I think the difference in bears is crazy. Yeah. And like she was just saying, like, the ones that are here, the ones that are being successful, the ones that have volume are going to have much, much more volume, come 2 years from now. So I think it's cliche, or it's funny to think that it would stay this low as far as Sol price, just in my opinion.
I mean,
and if BlackRock says they're going to buy some Sol, that's kind of end game for this coin too.
Yeah, FTX bought some Sol too, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I know. It's BlackRock is just like owns so much in America and like these other countries that are buying. It's just, it's way too much for people still to be fearful. But yeah, man, it's whatever.
And I don't know if those big corporations will be interested by Sol right now. They just need to buy ETH and BTC first and Bitcoin, and then we can see some cascading into like our altcoins. But yeah, like BlackRock buying Sol could be fun, man.
Yeah, maybe that will happen. Well, maybe we see headlines soon,
Can you imagine like BlackRock buying like 1 million Sol and then staking it for 5% APY? That would be cool. And then they go to Radium and they put like half $500 million into Radium, like to get some PY. That's cool. And then BlackRock doing DeFi, bro. Let's go.
I'm dead. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I'm pretty confident. I mean, I don't really like everyone knows like I'm like a crazy, crazy Solana bull, but
Mm.
you know, I don't really think I'm like a Solana bull. I think it's just like I like not like a futurist because that sounds very like pretentious, but yeah, like I'm just pro future and Solana is like the only blockchain that makes sense. Like, you know, like it's super, super fast. Like, I don't think people understand Solana is fast and it's going to
Yeah.
get faster. And then it's super scalable on top of all of that. And, you know, some people say the marketing is like trash. I actually think that like the developer team that we have on Solana and like the people that are working on like
Yeah.
the certain types of influencers you see, like that's the marketing right there. Like you have like OX Mert, and then you have like, you know, even Ryder, for example, that's in the crowd right now, like stuff he's doing with Bell Studios, like that's all marketing
Yeah.
in my opinion.
100%.
And I just really don't understand actually sometimes when people talk about, you know, I won't say any names, but other blockchains that can't really do what Solana does, and they never will be able to do what Solana does
Yes.
without like throwing a bunch of L2s on top of them.
Okay,
So
so yes.
yeah, like it's
Yep.
Solana. Like Solana is the answer.
I
Yeah.
visited my MetaMask today, which always makes me very sad. But the shrimp have a collection on ETH. They're a Solana project, but they were doing Shrimpamon cards on ETH. I don't really know the reason behind it. It was very, very smooth, but like I was like, why is this taking so long?
But I mean, like, yeah, and even like V, we had a conversation in your space this morning. Like, people are losing money on free mint because of the gas fees. It was on
Yeah.
like on BTC ordinals, but like
Yeah.
you're paying so much in gas fees that even
Yeah.
with a fucking free mint, you're losing money.
Yeah, I think I spent like $40 for
Yeah. Okay, it was you.
I spent $40 on my, I think about 25 on my ordinal, but that was just like figuring out how to inscribe an ordinal. But today I spent about $35 on my 8 Shrimpamon packs. But they had a smart contract that was a reduced fee.
Yeah.
But it still was 35. Usually it's like 35 cents on Sol. But I mean, it was actually the slowness of it that was just like, what's happening here? Because this would already be in my wallet and I'd be halfway to work by now.
But like,
this was Sol.
Ordinals, I made like some transfer like from my IBC collection to ordinals to wrap them, and to what was the other one? Some ordinals too. What the fuck I was doing? I forgot about it. The transaction like took 5 weeks to land into my wallet to be confirmed. 5 fucking weeks. Like, because I put like the minimum fee shit. 5 weeks. Yeah, Solana is faster. Like I put a thread, like Solana is faster than that. But the thing is, what can happen in Solana? Like if you look at like the top market cap in 2017, kind of different from 2023. So if we have more performing blockchain than Solana in 2025, 2026, then Solana is going to be the next EOS. I don't think so, because like the way it works, it's cool, but it's a possibility too.
The next what?
The next EOS. See, it was a 2017
Yeah, I don't know the
and you
reference.
don't have exactly. So that's possible, but yeah, I don't know. The bullish on Sol.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go. Okay, okay. So it's been 1 hour and 5 minutes, so we are like already over time. Sorry, guys. Just have a couple of questions. I really want to talk to you because this is fascinating and this is like so on point with your project, because you want to bring Web2 people into Web3. So why do you think people who are not in Web3 right now should care about Web3? Like Web0 people, that why should they come to Web3?
That's like the question of the century, right? It's like why should they care? Like,
Exactly.
they don't have to. I don't think that we should force them to care. I think that they
Yeah.
need to actually come if there's something that's attracting them here, and that's our job, right? Like, it's like, you know, because as things stand, I mean, obviously they're not really coming here, and things are not stale, but I would say that the space is in a transition period where it's, I don't want to say it's not exactly sure what it wants, but you know, like, everybody has their own answer for what it should be. And that's why I'm really excited, because like when people start having these super in-depth conversations about like the philosophy of what Web3 should be, that's when, you know, people really actually genuinely give a shit, and that's when they're going to start building the things that will bring those type of people. So you know, I think that it is 110% our job, everyone's job in Web3 to bring those people over. And, you know, the why kind of relies, you know, on us. It's like, why do we want them to come to Web3? Like, what about Web3 is so much, you know, better for them than Web2, right? You know, I think my answer is like, I think that Web3 is the future because, you know, product verification, that's like always going to be my thing. But also, I just think it's just more transparent, and a lot of people are looking for that in society right now. You have a bunch of stuff happening behind the scenes that you're never going to know, and I think people have always needed this like deep or they have this deep rooted desire to know things just in general. So yeah, transparency is a huge one.
Yes, 100%. I agree with that. Okay, so could we lower the barrier to entry for people to join Web3, or should them always have like a step, like a requirement to do to jump into this world? Because that's also like, if you are in a Web3, you did an effort that is hard, and you get rewarded by doing it because of the financial incentive, etc., but also the freedom of your asset, like all of that, you get it. But if we, again, like lower the barrier to entry to everyone, then we're gonna lose like the philosophical aspect of Web3. And like, even you can even say, okay, so right now I own my crypto because I have a ledger, but you can imagine a service that will offer like ownership to a fucking bank, and then we go back to the bank, but in crypto, you know what I mean? So yes, do we have to lower the facilitate the entry to our industry, or should we just ask them to make an effort to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, my hot take is always going to be that crypto only works when people don't exactly realize that they're using it.
Okay.
And you know, like a great example of that is like, I have no fucking idea what is in an iPhone. I have no idea. I just know it works.
Yeah.
I know like when I take my credit card to like tap it on like a POS screen at the gas station, I don't know what's going on the back end, and I don't want to know. I just know that it's super fast and it's super easy, and I actually quite like it. And I think, you know, like, if we can get to the point in the ecosystem where things kind of just work very seamlessly, not only seamlessly, but they improve the lives of daily people, like everyday people, then yeah, I mean, I think that there's like more of a legitimate reason to talk about Web3 and why it's, you know, beneficial to people. But, you know, as things kind of stand, it's a little bit too much friction. I would say, you know, there's a bubble that we live in, and it's a very volatile bubble. Like, I'm even reading about this new rug that happened, a huge one. It's scary to be inside, and it's also really hard to navigate. It's really hard to find. And, you know, there's just so many different steps that you have to do inside of it. Like, you need to understand seed phrases and security and all these things that, you know, your average person just, you know, they kind of check out by step one. So if we could find ways to just really make it seamless, you know, that's really the answer to me. And that's why I actually like became so fascinated with NFC chips and talking to Monstray, because like when I saw that someone could verify an NFT, and like we actually use the word verify rather than mint. verify an NFT in less than 10 seconds, my mind just lit up. I was just like, oh shit, like this is actually like a way that we can do it very seamlessly and fast. So yeah.
We are talking to them, getting play bans for Solana Breakpoint, the Monstra.
I love them. We were talking to them today, and like we're just like, you know, chopping it up because we talk often, and we're just like, you know, we're actually crazy people. We're actually like, you know, we belong in some kind of asylum, I think, because like the stuff we're even talking about, it just sounds so nuts. And she was like, yeah, like the things that you're asking for, because like I'll ask her if certain things are possible. We'll have like real in-depth combos. She's like, you know, it's just completely uncharted territory, the stuff that we're doing. And it really is. It's like brand new technology. And then on top of it, we're experimenting with the new technology. It's like really interesting times, I think.
Yeah, CM's great. I've been a the Monstra ambassador for about a year now.
Oh shit.
So,
That's actually really cool. What made you interested in them?
Well, we used to hang out in spaces a lot, and she actually asked me, and I was like, yeah. And it, you know, most of the people I'm aligned with, or I'm still have very strong relationships with, I met in spaces when spaces were kind of booming, as well as, you know, I really, what's the word I'm looking for? I really, like, my whole thesis, like, I know there are a lot of, you know, it's not scientific, it's not super financial, but I go for people, like the people behind the products. And yeah, I loved CM. Actually, last year CM and I ran sleep spaces when I was very new to spaces. I used to co-host 2 spaces in the morning, and now I host my own space Mondays and Fridays. It used to be like 6 days a week, which is crazy, but it's Mondays and Fridays now. But we did like sleep spaces because we saw a need for it in the space. Like, so many people were, their sleep was disrupted, or they weren't on good sleep schedules. So I read the BTC white paper and the Ethereum white paper in a very dulcet tone, so it would put people to sleep. But she did mostly children's stories, so we did those for a while together. But yeah, no, we became friends, and I was like, and when she asked me, I was like, absolutely, whatever you need, I'm on board, just because of who she is and what they're building, and just, you know, the whole community in La Monstra. It's a small one, but it's pretty mighty.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. It's I think we definitely need to connect some more too. Like I'm not sure if we
Absolutely.
follow each other, but like that story's cool. And I also think it's funny that you read the BTC white paper.
Yeah, I read the BTC white paper. I'll check
Make
now.
people
I think
sleep.
I followed you, but maybe I didn't. I don't know. I'm really bad at I've been really bad at what's it called? Really bad at Twitter recently, and Elon's not making it any easier, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, anyway. Okay, so okay, I think I'm good. I asked all of my questions. V, do you have any more questions for our 2
No,
guests?
sir. I mean, I do, but I mean, it's gonna have to wait for another day, or we're gonna be here all night.
That's a possibility, because yeah, it's fascinating. I like this project close to onboarding web minus 20 people with viral item. It's cool. I love it.
Yeah. So you have your wrap-up questions, right?
Yes, madam. I can do that. Okay, guys. Okay, so I asked the same question to everyone, and just to wrap up and like to close the. Okay, so Shaifa, I'm gonna start with you, and so Light, you will have like a couple of seconds to think about it. What's the question that you wish people ask you but they never do? Shaifa.
What's the question I wish people would ask me? Hmm. I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, like right now during the stream, you're asking?
No,
Yeah.
just in general. In general,
Because you did a lot of Twitter space, you talk to a lot of people, blah blah blah. So you get used to like ask a lot of questions, but there is maybe one that people never ask you, and I want this question.
I guess off the top, like I always like to ask about culture, and I never hear people talking about that because it's like super unique topic. I don't think people dive into it enough as far as like what it means and what culture you can choose and which ones given to you by your environment around you and stuff like this. So I think that's my answer. It's actually a nice
Yeah,
question that I
it
was caught
is a
off
nice
guard by.
question.
So I could have 5 answers, but
Yeah.
that's my first one. Good question
See,
though.
and
Can do an episode 2 with that.
that's a crazy. We should probably talk about this, but that's a crazy, like, it's almost a crazy statement to me because I'm Jamaican, and like the Jamaican culture is like, it's so strong and it's so pervasive, like, and it's such a big brand even in of itself. So like it's a conversation that takes place daily in Jamaica, like surrounding our culture, like
Yeah,
the
I
music.
think people are
art.
lost in America. There's too many cultures going around that they don't know which one they pertain to in a way. Like just because,
Yeah.
like you're saying, if I go to Jamaica from here, I feel this complete vibe, no matter where I go, basically in the country. Same with, I would say Japan as well. It's like I think people kind of disconnect from a lot of what it means to be culture, what is my culture, and then what culture can I choose, right? So I think that's beautiful. You're so spot on.
We need to talk about that in your space on Solana Side Up on Friday.
I think
100%.
So. Yeah,
yes.
I think
Okay.
So.
And Schleifer, I think if there is like no, I mean, if there is like a lack of culture in America, it's because of the communities. Like everyone is part of the community, so they can't. Like everyone is, like have their subgroup of everything, and then there is no not a national like culture that will pull everyone all together under the same flag or like big group or stuff like that.
Well, yeah.
Okay, come to Solana Side Up on Friday, bro.
I'm down because you're actually making me think of things as well. It's like, what is American culture? Like it's getting washed down to sports and drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, but like if you ask, U.S. citizen, it will tell you, oh yeah, I'm a white Texan, whatever. It's not going to say I'm an American first, right? It's gonna say like you're gonna go deep into sub communities instead of saying like big.
Yeah, but what is American culture? In the South, it's something different from in the North. In the East, it's something different from the West. And like, in different communities, as you said, it's different. So I guess like, I come from a bunch of different cultures, but the one that's the strongest and like the most ingrained in me is the Jamaican culture. And that's because yes, it was a small country and I lived there the longest, but it's also just like the pride for the culture is such a legacy element that
Yes, that's cool. Okay. Guys, we need an episode 2.
These guys.
Yeah, no, we need an episode 2.
Okay, Light.
What's the question that you wish people ask you but they never do?
I mean, I really like music, like I was thinking so hard about this and like I think it's just music. Yeah, I wish people like I mean, I have so many vinyls and records and like I'm super into that. Like, yeah, I'm a huge nerd. Like you could talk to me about anything.
I have I have a decent, it's not a large one because I travel too much, but I have a decent vinyl collection. I've never played any of it because I never got a record player and because I travel too much. But I have the Sade box set just waiting to play someday.
See,
that's in vinyl.
I love Sade. Like I could talk about her for hours. Like she's seriously like amazing.
She's amazing.
So is that an episode 3?
Yeah.
Wait, you have vinyls record in your luggage everywhere you go? No,
No,
you have a
it's in
place.
storage. It's in storage.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see you like with your backpack. It's
Yeah, no, I don't have it. No, I mean, I even stopped buying a bunch of it, to be honest with you, because yeah, it's heavy to carry around. But I did see one the other day. It's Dr. Dre. It's Dr. Dre's 2001 album, I think it is, or maybe it's the Chronic. And
Yeah.
but it's Kehinde Wiley's art. He did a picture of him, and the vinyl actually has the art on it as well. I was thinking of getting that for my sister because she collects like colored vinyl. So I thought that
That's
would be a
cool.
banger for her birthday,
That's sick.
which is
Yeah.
coming up.
Vinyls are always just the best birthday presents. Like,
Yeah.
super simple and just like you could talk about, you know, like a band or like a musician for hours, you know? So yeah, I love vinyls. I love them a lot. They're also good decorations.
They are. Yeah.
That's cool.
So is there a favorite genre as you want to be asked about music? Do you have a favorite genre or like somebody you can't live without ever hearing again?
Oh man. So my genre switches every year. Like I'll just take a year and listen to like a really weird random genre. Like, you know, this year was like house because I just never got into house music ever. But last year it was like 90s rock. Like I just had a 90s rock binge. So you know, I have like certain musicians I just need to listen to like at least once a month. And like, you know, Deftones is definitely one. Nujabes, if you've ever heard him, he's like a hip hop jazz.
Deftones, yes, absolutely.
And then I would say a third if I had to just like really choose somebody right now. I mean, I want to say Drake, but he's feels so different now, like not in a good way, you know? Like I really miss So Far Gone, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. He wants to be Jamaican too badly. It's a turnoff for me. but I actually funny that you said 90s rock. I'm really revisiting Metallica at the moment. I'm having
Nothing.
What did you say?
Nothing else matters. Is that Metallica?
Nothing else matters.
Yes.
Sad
Okay.
but true. I'm having a real moment with Metallica recently.
Metallica's sick. Oh, also the Neptunes, you know, Timbaland, Neptunes, stuff like that. I love that stuff too.
Yeah. Did you ever get into what Neptunes and Khalees? What was that band? The Neptunes had a band.
NERD.
NERD.
Yeah. Super sick.
Yep. I saw them live.
Oh my gosh. Don't even tell me that.
Yeah, I saw them live once when the House of Blues in LA still existed. I saw them. It was a good night. Yeah, and Khalees was there as well. So yeah.
That is so crazy. Yeah, I'm super jealous for anyone that got to go to concerts in that era. I would say I was still like, you know, I was just so young and I wanted to go to concerts so bad, but my parents were just not about it.
Yeah, I was a huge concert goer. I have to say, like, a friend of mine went to Beyonce this weekend. He told me how much he paid, and I was just like, but also, like, I saw Beyonce like 4 albums ago where I feel like I was really happy with what I saw, and now I kind of feel like I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on. And I'm just not a stadium concert person. I like smaller venues. I don't mind arenas from time to time, but smaller venues are really my thing. And that when I moved to LA in 2001, that was my big thing with LA because everybody was like, "Oh, there's no culture here. There's no this. There's no that." And everybody who'd moved from New York to LA, because I went to college in New York and I moved to LA the year after college. And when I moved to LA, all of my New York friends who moved were just like, "It's trash here," or whatever. And I was just like, "This place is amazing. I can go to all of these different venues and see like all of these dope bands in like smaller venues for it wasn't a lot of money at the time, most of the time. So I went to the Roxy and the House of Blues when it still existed. The Fond is still there. The Wiltern, all of those places. It was just like I had a field day. So I saw everyone I could possibly have wanted to see. I pretty much saw.
That's so sick. Yeah, like
Yeah.
super jealous. I would watch like like MTV Unplugged stuff, like for sure. I was big on that because I couldn't go. Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Just she changed recently. I agree with that. Yeah, she's not replying to me in the same way. She changed. I don't like. Yeah, she changed too much. But yeah. Anyway, getting old maybe. Anyway.
You have another question, don't you?
Yes. My last question for you guys is, who should be the next guest on the channel, and can you please make the introduction?
Yeah, Bangaroo. I tell people like, I think she is like seriously, and I'm not even trying to meme, like I actually think she's like the evil genius of Web3, like Mark Zuckerberg type evil genius almost in a good way. But yeah, she's designing something that is so insane called 3Land, and it makes so much sense like when you sit down and look at what she's doing. And I've talked to her like in person for hours about this thing, like hours and hours. We have super deep conversations about the metaverse, and I could totally make that intro for you.
Great. So who is she? Who's the name? What's the name?
Bangaroo. She or Bangers sometimes she goes by.
Bangers?
Yeah, Bangers NFT.
Oh yeah, I know her. She's fun.
Yeah, she's super cool.
What about you, Schaefer? Do you have a guest for us?
Jay Chillin. Have you had Jay Chill on here?
No, not yet.
He's the founder. He's the founder of MobDAO, which is just a one-on-one community. Cool. But he honestly is the most fun person to talk to. I'll talk to him for hours, just hanging out, and then we'll come up with some sweet ideas and just build it out. Nice. Super fascinating guy, and he'll put his face on here for sure. And then Titan's kind of just like an interesting guy. He talks to the wall, like he could talk to a wall essentially. So Titan and Jay Chillin, this would be great guests.
Amazing. Hey. That we do.
We can't wait. Oh yeah, I would love to have Bangers on the channel. She's incredible.
So it's happening. It's happening.
Hey.
Okay, guys, do you have anything that you want to share with your community, like, or anyone on the Twitter space and on the YouTube chat watching this show and the replays? Okay, so yeah, do you want to say something to someone?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you both. Like, it's really cool, like,
Pleasure.
Kind of getting away from work and just chilling and talking to people that, are not only in Web3, but give a shit. So yeah, like, I just want to say appreciate it so much. And yeah, Schaefer, I'll hand it off to you.
That's how they do it in Korea.
Yes.
That's the mini heart from Korea.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yeah, I guess our site's going live tomorrow, so everyone check that out. Our merch up, and everyone can go play around on there. It's the V1 version of the site, so we'll always be improving it. And next season, when we drop more clothing, we'll change the site as well. And then yeah, we've been saying this burn will happen, so we're gonna, lessen the supply very soon via this burn. People will be burning their blue pills and red pills to become a gold pill and enter the gold pill society. So yeah, that environment's heating up, and it's been an awesome conversation. I know me and Light have just needed this almost after the day we had. So thank you guys. You guys are literally awesome at what you do.
Thank you for coming. It was really, really cool to meet you guys.
If you want to talk, you can always slide in my DM, Schaefer. After a long day, I will be here for you, bro.
Well, you know me, I'm not scared of double texting, so you don't know what you're getting into.
Okay, let's go. You have the group, and you can send me a friend request now. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
And also for everyone in the YouTube chat, I've dropped like the initial thread of Light about BAD. it's basically I also base a lot of questions based on that thread. But yeah, if you want more information about it, it's like posted in May. But nice information about BAT and the whole concept of it. So yeah, don't hesitate to read it, and you should have like a good vision, a complementary vision, and of the BAT project. But V, do you have any last words before we wrap up?
Such a pleasure to meet you guys. Yeah. Can't wait till the next time. And our DMs are open. Please hit us up.
Yes.
And sounds good. Thank you all.
From you.
Thank you so much, guys. And so we will talk soon about everything, and an episode 2 about the culture in the world. Let's go. Thank you so much, everyone who joined us for the stream tonight. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, IC. Thank you, IC, to join the YouTube fan clubs. Fanny to give this membership. Cookie, yes. Thank you so much. And we will see you in a couple of hours for coffee break. 8 hours. Subscribe to the channel because that's a whitelist for a mint. Collect reviews. And see you soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye.